Hey, welcome back. I'm Audra from chica+co, and today I'm going to introduce you to all the fun bones for your dogs to chow down on. Explain why some are better than others. So yeah, today's video will help you identify just the safe fun ones. And spoiler alert, this isn't one of them. So what on earth do I mean when I say fun bones? Well, it's just that. Bones for your dog's recreation, bones to make them feel great, bones to make them happy. There are literally hundreds of types of bones you can feed your pets, but for the most part they fall into two categories, the 100% edible type and the 100% recreational type. Today I'm just going to introduce you to a couple of these recreational ones. I've done another entire video on the 100% edible type, so after you've watched this one, check out the other video which is linked below. So you know when you're doing something or eating something you really like or feel great, you feel really happy. Our brains release serotonin, which is a hormone that literally is our happy drug. It's what you feel when you feel in love, when you're eating a chocolate bar or whatever floats your boat. It regulates our mood, our sleep patterns, our digestion, and strangely enough, it can influence bone density. So much so that imbalances have been linked to bone problems like osteoarthritis or osteoporosis. It's all great stuff, right? Serotonin. But what does a really good meaty recreational bone do for your dog? So glad you asked. First up, chewing releases serotonin in their brain, their happy drug. They feel really good. They often get so involved in chewing, they completely lose track of what was making them nervous or anxious, like some dogs feel when a storm hits. So they're a great way to soothe. They're also a great boredom buster. A good, hard recreational bone will amuse most dogs for hours. Then there's the added bonus of teeth cleaning, probably my favourite thing. The chewing action provides the perfect way to scrap off any tartar build-up. In fact, they're the only way dogs, wolves or dingoes for that matter, can keep their teeth clean and therefore making sure they survive. An animal with rotten teeth in the wild can't eat, therefore they'll die, unfortunately. So, what are these bones? How do you pick the best one? And what are the potential dangers with them? And most importantly, how can you mitigate these? But I also need to mention fasting here because this is really important and it's something that people don't really think about too much. The role of these bones play in this is vital. The idea, or rather the science behind this, is pretty simple. Animals in the wild eat when they catch prey. They never get breakfast served at 7 a.m. in the morning and dinner at 5 p.m. They pretty much eat and gorge themselves on their prey, and then they can go for several days without another meal. Room service is not part of the deal for them. The science behind this is the short version. Fasting allows the body to metabolize and relax. If the digestive system rests, that is, has nothing else to digest or do, it is time to heal itself. I like to give my dogs a short downtime so they can reset their bodies and their bodies can focus on the other important tasks that they must do to survive, like fight off any free radical attacks from things that are always found in our daily lives, like chemicals, for example, detergents, and so on. So that's where I use these types of bones: recreational bones, serotonin, soothing, teeth cleaning, and that important fasting period at the end. Okie dokie, here's some I prepared earlier. These recreational bones I had in our freezer. I feed our dogs one of these only once a week. On these big bone days, my dogs do not get any other food. I fast them for the reasons I've already mentioned. The other 2 or 3 times a week, we feed the softer 100% edible type of bones to make sure they not only get all the good happy feelings, the serotonin, and the other bonus side effects, but they get all the calcium and minerals that bones can supply. Recreational bones are super dense. They're really hard and generally always are the weight-bearing bones, basically the legs. Edible bones are much softer, like chicken or turkey necks, chicken frames, and so on. There's a full video on those edible bones linked below. So, recreational bones. Now, these are pretty controversial because a lot of the time people are terrified that they're going to cause teeth damage. And yes, they can if you don't manage it properly. So, first thing I want to mention, this was heads up at the beginning of the video. This is the bone, the leg bone from a cow, okay? You can buy these from most supermarket chains. I hate these. I get so pissed off when I see these in the display section in the butcher area because there's something that you shouldn't give your dogs, quite frankly. You have a Rottweiler who's got amazingly strong jaw strength. They're going to chow down into this bone, which is incredibly hard. And most likely, not always, but sometimes, they will damage their teeth, the back teeth, the slab teeth. So the other pet peeve I have with these guys is they cut them in half, okay? Saw them in half, dispose all the marrow like this. Yum, marrow is delicious, marrow is fabulous. This is very sharp. This edge here has been sawn by a bandsaw. You're going to, one, give your dog way too much fat in one sitting. Yum, it's delicious, but I can tell you right now, you're going to cause some issues, some upset, diarrhea, vomiting and whatnot. And if you have a dog that's got pancreatitis precursors, this will set them over the edge. They're going to have a pancreatic attack. So please, 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 please don't ever feed your dog, no matter how big it is, one of these guys, okay? Way too dense. They look awesome for a video, but I like these ones. Now, these guys are actually kangaroo bones, so you can't obviously get them in Australia, but you'd be struggling to get them anywhere else. They're leg bones again, they're dense, they're hard. Okay, they've got the knuckle bone on the end, they've got a little bit of meat on them, they've got some sinews, some tendons, all the good stuff going on there. These guys, I feed my dachshunds these once a week. You know, not every week, every couple of weeks, because I can't get them all the time. They love them, but there's not a great deal of damage that can occur to their teeth because they're not that dense. They're not as dense as these guys here. But here's the tip on making sure your recreational bone servings are done safely. Over here on this side, I'm not going to pick them up. They are 2 kangaroo bones that my guys ate last week. They've been in the freezer because I wanted to use this as an example for the video. That's 3 hours worth of power chewing. Okay, so 2 of my dogs have had 3 hours on those bones. Please also always supervise your dogs, particularly with these harder, denser bones. So all these guys have managed to do is, as you can see, take off the softer ends, the knobby bits, all the cartilage and whatnot in there, and the rest of the bone remains. Now, this is when you go out the back and you say, best dog ever, and get rid of those bones. Just take them off them, okay? Take them off and throw them away. This part here, too hard for teeth. It's going to do damage. This part here, not so very much hard enough to give you all the benefits of a really hard recreational chew, but not that hard to damage, okay? So throw them away once we get rid of all the yummy bits on the end. The other bones here, over here, are actually pork knuckles. These are the basis of a, same idea here. You can see the same shapes, okay? But these are just from pigs. So this is a 2-ton animal, right? This is a 1-ton animal, and this is probably a 40 to 60 kilo animal. So density, super hard, also hard, but not as hard, okay? So my guys love these because there's a lot more meat and connective tissue on them, as you can see here. So again, I let them get down and get dirty with them. They have a lovely time. They take off all the meat, all the cartilage and whatnot, have a good chew, all the serotonin is released, and then I take them off them when they get kind of like this, and then I throw them away. As you can see, there's some marrow in the end that's exposed. They can get down to about that far. That's a really good amount of marrow bone. So be safe, guys. Supervise. Make sure that the bones that you are feeding you're taking them off them at an appropriate time. I think that's pretty much all I need to say about these guys. Again, avoid at all costs.